Welcome to Pioneer Roundtable. I'm Reagan, joined with Thomas and Sam. To start off, we're going to talk a little bit about Tennessee versus Duke. They played Saturday. Duke lost 52-65. I know Sam has some strong opinions. Let's start off here.
Yes, I do. So, Tennessee, they made the tournament. They beat a blue chip program like Duke in the tournament to get out of the second round for the first time in about 5 years. This is a great accomplishment for all Vol Nation and the team. Job's not finished. Got to beat FAU on Thursday at 8. It's in Madison Square Garden up in New York. The team is fired up. They should be. They haven't gotten out of the second round, like I said, in like 5 years.
You say blue chip program, but this
Duke is a blue chip program.
This Duke.
Tell me they're not a blue chip program. You're talking about
let him finish. Let him finish.
This Duke team is the worst in years. This was the first time they were below the 4 seed, and I can't even.
Oh, below the 4 seed, crying for crying out loud.
It's a pretty huge difference when you're a top tier team.
They didn't make the NIT, did they?
No, they did not.
No, they made the NCAA March Madness tournament.
But
Therefore, you are prepared. You are good enough.
When you go from a first seed team almost every year to the 5th seed, it's a
Freaking
huge
first world
difference.
problems there.
Most of these first seed teams, they have a superstar player. I don't think any of these Duke players are projected to be a top 10 pick.
So you're talking about basically a program built around one and dones. Is that what you're talking about here?
Basically.
So because Duke had to go back to the early to mid 2000s to when they had to actually still be a blue chip caliber university and build their team, actually, they can't do that, and thus they're the worst team ever. Oh, crying.
I'm not saying
crying.
Okay, let's keep it professional.
I have to actually
keep
build
it
a
professional.
program.
Keep it
My
professional.
legendary coach just retired last year. Oh, woe is me. Woe is me, a Duke fan.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Duke is the worst team, but.
But you're talking like they are, and the
But you
Vols
can't
just smacked them around.
Exactly. Tennessee did not beat a good Duke team. If this was a
It's
Duke team
March
from prior
Madness.
years, it doesn't matter. You're not facing a good Duke team. Tennessee is overrated. They lost to Auburn.
They beat Alabama.
Vanderbilt,
They beat their
Florida.
out-of-conference.
They've lost to many
They played to the
unranked
level of their
teams.
competition, and yes, I do not like that they lost to those teams, but however, they also beat the teams better than them. They beat the teams better than them. We're in the middle of a tournament that is hectic. It is known for having blowouts. I'm just saying, job's not finished for the Vols. Beat FAU on Thursday.
They're losing to FAU. I'm putting everything
Look,
on it.
right now the
They're
Vols are America's team because FAU decided to try to go for a garbage time dunk, and yet they missed it horribly. Okay,
I think
everybody hates that kid.
I think anyone would have done that, being excited going on to the next round.
Missed it horribly. Missed it horribly. Be the key word here.
All right. Well, clearly you both have very strong opinions about that. Let's transition to the NBA. Ja Morant has some controversy surrounding him. He was actually suspended. He was eligible to play tonight, but he won't be. He'll be out. What are you guys' thoughts, Thomas?
I think
Who are they playing tonight, actually?
The Mavericks.
Oh yeah. Oh goodness.
I
Kyrie's back.
I think this whole Ja Morant situation, I think it's being overlooked. I think people are making it a bigger deal than what it's supposed to be. Like, there's been previous occurrences of stuff like this with Gilbert Arenas. He brought a whole gun to the stadium.
But didn't he get banned for that?
He got I think a half a season suspension. But the thing is, Ja Morant, he was doing this on social media. There wasn't a social media back then.
No.
So I feel like they're just making it a way bigger situation than what it actually is. I don't think he did anything wrong. It's mostly it's mostly like a view, like how you're being viewed by the organization.
Yeah.
It's just a bad look.
For me, from what I saw from the video, mainly the only thing he did wrong in my eyes, it was more of like gun safety stuff. The gun, we don't know if it was loaded, waving around a little bit, finger trigger discipline, not the best. Just saying. I'm all for Second Amendment rights here, but come on, let's be a little bit smarter and not wave the firearm around with the finger in vicinity of the trigger in a packed room.
Yeah.
A little bit of, let's use our head a little bit here, but I think it's being blown a bit too much out of proportion. But we've also seen with other athletes, and also him getting in trouble for what, they jumped a kid at his house?
Yeah, 17-year-old.
Yeah.
I think they were playing a pickup game, and we don't have the full details out yet. So
Well, I mean, something like this happened recently in the NFL also with Joe Mixon.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, and you see how he's getting treated. It's basically kind of the same.
But I feel like Joe Mixon's thing was a little bit different because that was
he
his.
shot a kid. He actually shot.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing though, it was on his property. He probably I mean, he makes multi-millions, right? Probably lives in a gay community. If you saw someone in your yard, I mean, what's your go-to action in that situation? John Morant's
not immediately fire upon it.
I mean,
give them a little bit to get out of the yard.
You have no time to react. You don't know who this person is. John Morant.
But however,
from what I know, the person that he engaged with, they were starting stuff with him, from what I heard.
But from the article I read, it was a kid on there. It was like an 11-year-old kid.
Oh, really?
Man, are you beefing with an 11-year-old? What are we doing here?
I don't think he was 11. I think that's a little bit younger than.
Well, the article I read said the kid had a Nerf gun and was playing with other friends, and they got onto his property. That's what I saw.
I think those parents need to.
Oh yeah,
keep a better eye on their
parents need to
kid.
keep a better eye on the kids. Goodness, but John Morant. I mean, not John Morant.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon. We're talking about John Morant. Joe Mixon did not have to basically shoot the child at that point.
Well, I guess you guys somewhat agree about the John Morant situation. A little bit
out of proportion. Needs work on trigger discipline.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's transition to the NFL. Titans. It's soon to be draft season. Titans mock drafts. I know you guys.
I got my mock
did a little
draft
bit of
right
that.
here. I got it right here, and I actually took it serious. So go ahead and go to camera 3. Alrighty, so in the first round, I have the Titans picking an offensive lineman need with Peter Stronsky. Again, he might have short arms. Look at the combine. Look at some tape from Northwestern. Telling y'all, this guy can be moved inside, moved to guard. He'll be rock solid for the Titans. And then in the second round, I got them getting Jalen Hyatt. Coach said he wanted speed. There you go. There's you some speed. Look at the Alabama film. I'm telling you. Just get somebody that can get the ball in the air. He'll be fine. Third round, another offensive lineman. This guy, he might be from not a big conference, but, he's got that dog in him. I've watched a little bit. Cody Mock out of North Dakota State. Telling y'all, keep him at tackle. Y'all can kick him inside. He'll be good, solid. Telling y'all. And then fifth round, because the Titans decided to trade their fourth round pick, I got them taking an edge rusher out of Eastern Michigan, Jose Ramirez. Haven't really watched much of Eastern Michigan, but edge rusher is a need. You gotta take who's best player available. At the moment, he was the best player available due to the athletic grades. And then in the sixth round, got a steal. Somebody to help King Henry with the load. Eric Gray fell all the way to the sixth round, and I'm like, well, best player available. Get him some help in that running back room. And in seventh round, just somebody to help in the secondary. Erquan Bush out of Cincinnati. My draft grade from PFF with a B.
All right, so for me in the first round, I watched the draft combine just a little bit, but one thing that caught my eye was 6'3", 285 edge rusher Nolan Smith. I mean, who wouldn't want someone with that size, with that type of speed? Look at Micah Parsons, for example. Mm-hmm. I think this would be the perfect pick for the Titans. Now, PFF, they had him graded at, or ranked 21. Right?
21, yeah.
I think that's a bit high for him. I think, or not high, but a little bit low. He should definitely be taking the first 10 picks, but in the mock draft, Titans could snag him. Mm-hmm. And then in the second round, I had the Titans also taking Hyatt. I think it's just a perfect, pick.
Perfect match.
He's a Tennessee player. He's gonna fit right in. The Titans need a receiver. It just depends on how well he'll be with Tannehill, and when a rookie wide receiver pairs with a QB, a veteran QB, it depends on how much time that QB has with that wide receiver, because your wide receiver is going to build with that QB. And then in the third round, I can't remember. I believe I took Dell. I forget his first name, from Houston.
Yeah,
another wide receiver.
Nathan Dell?
Nathaniel Dell? I can't remember his name.
I just saw an Instagram video of him running a route. Oh my gosh, he is a good route runner. from what I saw. I think drafting 2 wide receivers back-to-back for the Titans would be good. Robert Woods did he get re-signed?
No,
I know-
he got
no,
traded to
he got
the, or
He
no, he
got
didn't get
traded?
traded. He got released and signed with the Texans.
That's right.
They
But
then traded Brandon Cook.
I don't
Yep.
I don't think Robert Woods was good for the Titans, and now they need wide receivers. So I think drafting back-to-back wide receivers is good. And then at that point, I kind of gave up on my mock draft, so I traded every single pick possible for Joe Burrow.
All right. Well, I guess that
think
wraps up. I guess that wraps up, unless you have any comments about
Only
that.
comment I got is you couldn't have just not traded trade everything for Joe Burrow and done something a bit realistic. I mean, come on, man. I went through with it. I'm sitting there like, all righty, we are the GM here.
I mean,
Any rebuttal?
hey, Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow. Joe Shiesty.
Fair enough. I guess that wraps up this episode of Pioneer Roundtable. I'm Reagan.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Samuel.
Thanks for watching.